Give me strength. Gaea Armor.
Alright guys, we're here today to talk about a Gaea Armor deck. So power, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Consistency, it's about a 4.5 out of 5. Cost, it's a 4 out of 5. And competitive, it's a 4.5 out of 5. I'd slot this one really, really high. It's probably a borderline tier 1 deck at this point. It's just so consistent, so good, so powerful. Alright, let's take a look at the deck list real quick though. It's 3 Disarm. We're going to go for seals here. 1, the End of Fate. 2, Bokenjin. This is really good because, especially with this way this deck works, because if you get 3 or more explorers, you can then explore for Tsukuyomi, so you add another card to the pocket. 3 Battle Chip Guard, which will then give us the shields, which is really nice. So we're up to 6 shields in this deck. 3 Kyrie. She's really important to this deck with the combos and everything that she does. 1 Little Sprite Sakia. She's for exploring and adding a card to the pocket, plus some burn damage when you need it. Woodman.exe at 3. He's really good when you add cards to the pocket. He has that heavy pierce, which is really nice. I only won 1 Rico. You could run her at 2, but she's not really that important to the deck. You could switch 1 Woodman out for her. 2 Land Hikaris. He explores for Battle Chip Sword, which gives quest units +1/+1, which is still really nice. But he's there just to activate some quest. 3 Males. She explores for Battle Chip Guard. So again, we're exploring, we're working here. 1 Enchanting Night Pool, one of the best legendaries. 1 Jackin, still a really, really strong legendary. God, I'm loving this card. I didn't think I would at first, but I'm really, really liking this card. 3 Stoneman.exe, again, adding cards to the pocket, getting +1/+2 to all friendly units, and the shield is really, really nice. The MVP of this deck is Roll, Tender Net Navi Roll.exe. She explores for Battle Chip Gongandantes, which is not necessarily necessary, but it's still really good. 1 Legendary Swordsman Nagi. Again, he's just for exploring. He gives you Bokenjin at Unleashed, and he gets powerful. And another MVP of this deck is Justice Net Navi Megaman.exe. Really, really good. Gets you your Hotto shot. Does really well there. Does some burn damage and everything like that. But that's the deck, guys. Let's go take a look at some games. So our first game here is against Spike Dive Bomb. Very good deck coming up in this meta. I really like it. So it's harder to play against, but we got a really good hand here with Stoneman, Male, Mega Man, and Roll. So we can combo into this a few different ways because mainly some of my units explore here. So we're going to use Stoneman into Roll so we get the level up for both, and then we're going to use Male so that we get Stoneman to max, Male to max, and that would put Roll to max, which made it so I could take no damage for 13 seconds for all quest units, and plus the shields that Stoneman gave. You got this really buff field really quickly. And as you can see, this deck is going to be a lot of combo pieces. This is how this deck wins, is by comboing. And as you can see, I had this huge board. He couldn't get through it, so he surrenders. Our next game here is against Kakosho. This is somewhat of a mirror match. This is the Kakosho version of this quest style deck. And I stupidly got rid of my hand there. I should have kept that one, but I got lucky when I mulliganed it into this one. This is decently as good. They got a pretty good starting hand as well. And luckily I got a Stoneman. The way I should have done this is gone Male and then into Stoneman, but it didn't work out that way. But I still had the tools in hand to get through this. Because now with Roll going to max here, even with their Bokenjins, it's not going to matter because Roll's going to go to max, which means my 2 quest units are going to take no damage, which is going to help with Stoneman as well because he's taking those ticks off. So, but it's not even going to affect him. He'll be able to get through this. And we're just going to keep applying pressure on the field. And as you can see, we keep comboing, and we use Gaea Armor here to get some HP, but also because what I want to do here is use actions for myself, and Gaea Armor kind of protects the counter. And again, they surrender when it comes up pretty quickly. Temptation. Let's look at this one. It's been running wild still. It's still a very good deck. It's not purple's best anymore, but it's probably its second strongest. The new quest purple is just ridiculous. But we got a good starting hand here too. We can roll with this. We can go into our combos here, because we can go Rico to Woodman to land like we did, and then we have buffer units. And now we're just in survival mode at this point. I didn't think it would play out this way, but we're going to play it. We're going to seal. And this is where we're going to see where this deck is a very patient deck. You got to wait to open up your combos, but once they're open up, they are crazy good. So we opened up into this. Now we're stopping halts. We're stopping everything. We're sealing things off. We're buffing up. They're going to negate, but we're like, screw that anyways. We're going to get our shields. You're going to halt, but you can't target me right off the bat, which is okay with me. Because with Temptation, we're worried about those targeting actions. So that's why I think Gaea Armor is really, really good right now. And here's a check-in. God, so good. So we took Stoneman's stats and added them to Kyrie. So she's a 619 up top with the MP boost, which is really nice. Another Gaea Armor. We're going to protect ourselves here. Another Temptation, of course. We're going to drop Yami. And we're going to use his little explore tactics there. And we're going to make Yami really strong, but they're going to negate. Because we have to negate everything when we're purple anymore. Because we run so many negates that people just negate whatever shows up. But right now we're in complete advantage. And this board is not going to be broken unless they can Temptation and then destroy everything. So, and that's the game there. So as you can see, this deck is a very patient combo-centric deck that we got to work with. And I don't usually like putting two of the same color in, but this game, as you can see, I have a decent starting hand here. I could have worked through it, but I got rid of it, and I put myself into an awful starting hand. So I'm going to show you how you can work out of this deck, like out of bad hands with this deck, because every now and then, this is why my consistency is not a full 5 out of 5, because every now and then you'll brick on something like this. This is literally just us working through. We're just working through it to get what we need, and we're still not getting much. But we're getting there. We are working the hands. And yeah, I kind of walked into this by doing the actions because I walked into that for sure. But I use Gaea Armor here. I use it a little late, but I use it there just to keep a little bit of board presence so I can charge up and wait. Because as you can see, we're still not getting very good hands. But we can use Mega Man out of this, which is nice. So we're going to seal that glide right away. We don't want anything coming at you. I popped the mill here because then I could have some level ups. And that way we have a little bit buffer. We can keep a little bit of presence and work through this. As you can see, we're hanging in there. We've used a lot of explores though. So I'm okay with using a lot of the explores, because I was able to use Tsukuyomi to basically make Lan a tank. But of course, we're going to see what they have here. And they have the halt, of course, like always. That just always seems to happen. We're going to jack in Lan on mail there. So we have, again, we're just trying to keep some board presence, cycle through some cards, get some things going so we can somewhat survive here. And he's doing everything in his power to protect that male or that role, but I'm going to finally seal her up. They can't use that seal to its full effect because they had no action or no card in the EX pocket, so they couldn't dump anything. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of that seal card, but there you go. And we used Auto Shot, or we used Mega Man there instead of waiting for Kyrie because we wanted to wash out the Stone Man. And have him, or not the Stone Man, the Woodman, to have him trade out. We're going to use Auto Shot here. Because I'm going to literally drop it. Stone Man in front. And that giving him that agility is going to negate his speed. But they use Gongondantes to basically counter that strategy of mine there, which is fine. We didn't get the seal off. That's okay. I go up top, and I go up top because I want to keep board presence. Again, we're talking about board presence here, and we just want to keep that. So that's why I went up top instead of giving it to Mega Man. Because you never know what they're going to pull. And by that point, they wasted all their MP, and they can't do anything. So that's the games, guys. Let's take a look at some combos. Alright, our first combo here is Kyrie to roll to Lan or Male. Kyrie will buff roll and it activates one level up, and then Lan and Male will level up Kyrie and themselves, which would max out roll for the maximum pressure. And here's an example of it. We put roll on field, and then we drop Male.
Give me strength.
So we have damage negation plus Gaea Armor and Veil and shield, so we're good to go. The next one is Kyrie to Megaman.exe. This is a late game combo using Kyrie to buff Mega Man to a 7-12 with combo and spillover, with the heavy damage he does in front, which could either be a game ender or a board clear. So let's take a look at this real quick. Bam, game over. The last combo I'm going to show is Woodman to Stone Man to Male and Battle Chip Guard. You'll get max level up on all units, resulting in buffed units with shields and a shield in hand, which creates a ton of pressure for all opponents, and your board is pretty strong. Finally, here's the list again, and the QR code will be coming up, but thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm having tons of fun doing this, and I'll be back with the next one next week. Take care, guys.